Losing weight is 100% based on how you eat. So whenever you ask someone who's involved with fitness how to lose weight, this is what they tell you.
You need to get into a calorie deficit.
You need to create a calorie deficit.
So if getting lean is as simple as creating a calorie deficit,
But let's be real, a lot of people don't even know what that is, and even if they do, they don't abide by it consciously. And that's why over 40% of the world's population is overweight. It's time to debunk all of that. As someone who knows how to go from this to this whenever he wants, I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to know to position yourself to lose weight. And it's going to start with educating or re-educating ourselves on what food really is. Let's begin. I'm going to quickly summarize the relationship between food and body weight. So as humans, we need energy to function, and we get energy from either food or drink in the form of calories. We have an innate energy baseline depending on our current height and weight. If we consume more calories than that, the excess stays as fat. And if we consume under the baseline, our body takes energy from those fat stores. So as I mentioned earlier, any food or drink that has nutritional value has energy in the form of calories. And calories are broken into one of three macronutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, or fats. The type of macro matters because it correlates to the caloric efficiency, digestive properties, and taste of the foods and drinks within them. And because of that, not all calories are created equal. So let's bring in some foods to demonstrate that. So here we have a russet potato, a chicken breast, and an avocado, representing one of the three macros each. So carbs, protein, fats. As a carb, the potato has a lot softer texture compared to the other two foods, so it'll be easy to chew and digest. The chicken breast, as a protein, has a little bit more volume to it, and compared to the potato, you're gonna have to take some time to either cut it up or chew through it, and it's gonna take more time to digest. Carbs and protein have the same caloric value at 4 calories per gram, so this potato and this chicken breast are pretty similar in terms of calories, but they're very different foods in terms of nutritional value and digestive properties, as I mentioned earlier. And this avocado here, while being about the same size as these other two foods, has more than double the calories because fats have more than double the calories of carbs and protein at 9 calories per gram. So to get this avocado on par with these two foods in terms of calories, I would only have to use a portion of it. So from a quick comparison, we can discern different properties from these different macro foods. These foods will be digested in quickness in this order, with carbs being digested quickest and fats being digested the slowest, while fats have the most caloric value per volume and carbs and protein being the same. But there's an even more point to be made. Not all foods are made equally. And to segue into that, I'm going to bring out 2 of the most caloric dense foods there are. This is 100 calories of sugar and vegetable oil. If you are hungry, these would not be your first or your last choices to satisfy your hunger, yet they are present in many processed foods. Processed foods are foods that have been transformed from one food to another, usually through industrial methods using sugars or oils. Most processed foods usually take some sort of whole food and prepare them in a way that makes it more convenient and tastes better, but destroying most of its nutritional value in the process. Simple example, you take this potato, you deep fry it in some oil and package it, and you get potato chips. Processed foods make up most of the packaged foods in grocery stores and fast food. So we have chips, candy, and cookies. We also have processed drinks like soda and alcohol. And for fast foods, I brought the most popular fast food meal out there. The Big Mac meal. I'm gonna put this away for now, but I'm gonna bring it back to make a very important point. So to show you how much of an impact all of this really has when it comes to calories, I'm going to exemplify 100 calories of all these foods and more. So let's circle back to the relationship between food and body weight, and we're gonna throw in some numbers now using myself as an example. So I'm 5'7" and I'm around 160 pounds right now, and with some quick calculations, my daily caloric expenditure is 2,500 calories. A pound of fat is 3,500 calories, so to burn calories off my body, I would have to consume under this daily caloric expenditure. So let's say I wanted to lose 1 pound per week. Well, I would need to be in a daily caloric deficit of 500 calories, so I would have to consume 2,000 calories a day. And if I wanted to steepen that to 2 pounds per week, I would have to increase that deficit to 1,000 calories. So I would have to consume 1,500 calories a day. If you look at all of these different 100-calorie food compositions, you can see that some foods have a lot more volume compared to others. If you were hungry and you had to choose from these groups of foods, well, I would want to eat as much food as possible. So I would go with the bowl of vegetables and the chicken breast for some protein. But there's the other part of the desire to eat, and that's emotional hunger, also known as cravings. Sometimes we just want to eat something that tastes good or something that we haven't had in a while, even if we're not hungry or we know it's not necessarily healthy. But the problem with cravings is that we usually crave processed foods, and the way they manufacture those foods usually spikes our hormones so that we want to eat more and more of them. Now, as you can see, it takes such little volume just to make up 100 calories that it's easy to consume hundreds and hundreds of calories in a single sitting. Let me demonstrate. I know I'm setting a bad example right now, but this is purely for science. So that wasn't even that long, and that was 400 calories right there. And the last point I want to make on these foods is just how many calories are added for the sake of making them convenient and tasty. So we're going to clear the table and bring the Big Mac meal back. So now that we have the Big Mac meal back, let's break it down. The burger itself has 550 calories. A typical McDonald's hamburger bun has 150 calories, with the Big Mac having 3 of them. So that would be 75 calories each. And the Big Mac has 2 hamburger patties, which are about 90 calories each, with 2/3 of them being fat. So if we do a 100-calorie breakdown of the Big Mac, it would look something like this. So if we split the Big Mac into 500-calorie sections, we would have to, leave off, set like 50 calories of sauce and lettuce, then spread the rest of that on each of the buns, and then a little bit on the patties. A McDonald's regular fry is 330 calories, so we can split this into more than 300-calorie segments. A 21-ounce regular Coke is 200 calories, so we can split this into 2. If you haven't recognized the point by now, it's that these aren't calorically efficient for you. They're not healthy, and if you're trying to lose weight, you should not be eating this. By now, we should have a good idea of the caloric composition of a bunch of different foods and how bad some of them are when it comes to calories. This is why it's important that you track everything that you eat so you're aware of how many calories are inside different foods. So what do we do with all of this information when it comes to weight loss? How about a quick reality check? Caloric deficits by nature means to reduce calories. So you have to make sacrifices to your diet to make that happen. Most people, when they think of weight loss, immediately think of doing cardio. Well, at 160 pounds, I would have to walk 30 minutes or run for about 8 to burn 100 calories. But it's a lot simpler and easier to eliminate way more calories from your diet, and there's multiple ways to do that. You pick better foods, you avoid consuming foods that you don't need to, and you substitute high-calorie options with 0 or low-calorie ones. Here are some simple examples. You don't eat this, you eat this, cooked of course. You don't eat this, you just fight the desire to do so. You don't drink this. Instead, you can drink this. Better yet, you drink this. don't drink this. And when you do eat, you only want to eat until you're satisfied, not stuffing your face until you're full. You want to eat for sustenance, not for emotional satisfaction. Every single food decision you make when it comes to weight loss is important. And if you abide by these principles, you will make good decisions no matter what. That's why it's a lot easier when you're in control of the food preparation. As efficient as it is, no one wants to eat plain chicken breast. So by preparing it with minimal additives, you can make it taste a lot better with just a few extra calories. Bottom line is, you have to discipline yourself to not eat crap and eat better. You only cheat yourself if you cheat your diet. And I'm saying this as someone who goes absolutely crazy on food when I don't try. I'll eat thousands of calories in a sitting with good food, like my family's fancy feasts. And when I snack hard because of how infrequently I do so. Take these Lay's stacks for example. I bought this tube in preparation for this video days ago, and yet after eating a single potato chip, I felt the urge to clean the whole tube. I ended up having to buy another one for this video. So that's why I try to make as many good food choices as possible. My primary drink choices are either water or 0-calorie options. I don't add sauces, I use seasonings instead. I minimize, if not eliminate, snacking from my diet. And I try to minimize the amount of food I eat every day while picking the most caloric efficient options. By doing this, I train my body to desire less food for hunger satisfaction, and that allows me to be more comfortable with consuming less calories every day. This is why I'm not heavily concerned when I go ham with food, because I know how to discipline myself and lose weight whenever I want to. And the most underrated point about losing weight is that as you do so, you need to increase your deficit because your body will gradually require less energy. It doesn't get easier, it gets harder, and you need to be even more efficient with your food choices. Don't start relaxing and letting yourself go just because you lost a few pounds if your weight goal is way lower. Stay disciplined. And that's it for this video. I hope you found some good value out of it and can implement some points I made for your weight loss journey. If you found this helpful, you should like the video, leave a comment if you have something to say or if you have a question, and subscribe to stay in the loop with more base fitness content. You can also join the Discord for base discussions on self-improvement topics. That's it for now. I gotta eat something. Bye-bye. And the last point I want to make about these foods is just how many calories are added for making... And the last point I want to make about these foods